Hi everybody, it's Lucinda Curran from Eco Health Solutions, and I have got the absolute honour and joy of introducing you to my friend Kyle Eichorn, who's a plant-based health and weight loss coach. He's also a food photographer and blogger, and now he's an author as well, which is his brand new book that's out, which we wanted to talk to you about today. And his mission is to inspire others to adopt not only a healthier diet but a healthier lifestyle. So hi and welcome, Kyle.
Hi, Lucinda. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. So I just wanted to start just by getting people's heads around the idea of what plant-based foods are. Would you like to just talk about what that is?
Yeah, so plant-based eating essentially means that, you're not eating animals of any sort. You're not eating any meat, any dairy. You're essentially just eating fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, grains, everything that comes from a plant source.
Fantastic. Now, I was vegan, strict vegan for 15 years, so this is all kind of second nature to me, and I know this is really nutritious, but for the people who've never thought about eating this way, is
Mhm.
there enough nutrition in plant-based foods to sustain somebody?
Yeah, I definitely think that there's enough nutrition to sustain somebody on a plant-based lifestyle. I do think, though, that, if you aren't eating the right foods on a plant-based lifestyle, there's definitely room for deficiencies and things like that. So you do need to make sure that you're eating, a wide variety of different plant-based foods to get the nutrition that your body needs.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I totally agree. Like, I know for a long time I was a very bad vegan.
Yeah.
I was very strict with what I ate, but I certainly ended up iron and B12 deficient in particular because I wasn't doing a proper job of it and I wasn't having a lovely wide range. So,
Right. Yeah. And B12 is one thing. And then obviously vitamin D3, those are both a couple of things that I recommend supplementing just on occasion, just to be safe and make sure that, you're getting enough of both of those things.
fantastic. Now tell me, you've obviously been on this I'm going to call it a mission for a long time, because it's so you, like you, it's not just what you talk about at work, it's you. It's you live it, you breathe it, it's you. How did the book come about?
The book about it, for one, it's just always been a dream of mine to put out a collection of my favorite recipes. But one thing that I saw is that there was just this huge misconception about what plant-based eating was and how people thrived off of a vegan diet. So I kind of wanted to show that, it's not just boring salads or smoothies, that you can actually have things like burgers and traditional food that you probably grew up eating. You can still eat um, a healthy version of and thrive off of this lifestyle in that way.
That's fantastic. And one of the things I've always been aware of with your work is that not only are you creating these amazing recipes that taste fantastic, but you are, like, they're very nutritious. Like, you've already taken that into consideration. They look absolutely stunning. And you created it all. Like, it's just this magic that you do with food. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Ah, it's a pleasure, and thank you for sharing your skills and talents. And yeah, as I was saying earlier, you're actually the food photographer for your book as well. So
Yeah,
that's exciting too, I think.
yeah, it was a lot of work, but I love doing it, and it was so much fun just to, pour my heart into that.
That's great. Can you show us your book? I'm
Yeah,
still waiting for my copy to arrive from the States. So isn't that fantastic?
it's called
So,
Feel the Energy.
mhm.
It has 60 plant-based and gluten-free recipes.
That is so exciting. It's so exciting. So tell me too, what would be your top tip for someone as like a starting point with a plant-based food diet?
Um, my top tip, I think, if you're starting out, would just be to not try to be a perfectionist with it, because it is something that is so new to a lot of people, and it's not really normal to what you're used to. So you're going to have slip ups, you're going to have cravings in the beginning, and things might not always go as planned. So definitely don't beat yourself up about it, and just keep moving forward. The other thing I always recommend to people is to drink at least once, or not at least, but drink one smoothie per day, to essentially get in that habit of doing that. So basically I drink mine every morning and I've been doing that for years now. So it just feels like second nature to me. I don't really have to think about it anymore. And so when you can kind of get into that habit, it takes the guesswork out of things and also provides you with a lot of nutrients for your day as well.
So would you like to share one of your favorite recipes from the book? I know that's going to be a hard choice for you because there's so many delicious things in there.
Yeah, it is hard because I definitely put every recipe in here for a reason.
Yeah. Well, share a couple maybe. That'd be great, just so people
But
get
yeah,
a
I will
feel of what's
share.
in there.
So these are the epic black bean and quinoa burgers. I don't know if you can see that there.
Yes. Oh, wow.
But
I'm salivating.
let me see.
So that's fantastic too for somebody who is doing that transition, isn't it? Because you've got the burgers, you've got the comfort food. It's familiar. It's just different
Yeah, for
ingredients.
sure. These are the nut butter fudge brownies. Those are made with black beans,
Yeah.
and they
Wow.
also have no refined sugar. So I've tried to make every recipe, even though some of them might be like transitional recipes or might not be seen as healthy. I've tried to make them with, as clean of ingredients as possible. So I'm not using refined sugars or refined flours or anything like that in the book.
You've got an 80-20 principle with this book too. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So essentially, the lifestyle that I follow personally is this idea of an 80-20 approach, which essentially means that 80% of the time I'm eating a really clean, whole foods, organic diet. I'm not eating any processed foods, so I'm eating a lot of smoothies, juices, salads, soups, and things like that. And the other 20% of the time, I essentially leave open to, flexibility if I'm going out to dinner with family or friends, or just want to create, you know, one of the fancier recipes in the book that might not be as healthy. And I just think that's important because it kind of creates that balance for you and you don't feel like you're depriving yourself or being restrictive.
Yeah, I agree. And you've actually categorized the recipes according to that as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. So essentially, I do talk about a little bit about the 80-20 principle in the beginning of the book. And then every recipe that's in the book will have either an 80 or a 20 next to it, which essentially just lets you know which recipes that I personally have considered to be, an either an 80% of the time or a 20% of the time recipe.
Yeah, I think that makes it so doable. And again, like that whole concept of, a new diet or a diet of some sort is some form of deprivation, and you'll be
Yeah,
starving and you'll be missing out and it's no fun. And I think what you've created is something that's really usable, sensible, exciting, and really, really enticing. Like, just looking at your photos of your food, like literally I salivate.
oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I really wanted to create something that you know, isn't going to be a deprivation or restricting and that people can sustain over a long-term basis because I feel like there's so many different programs out there that, people do on a temporary basis to lose weight or whatever the case may be, but then they aren't able to sustain it over a long term. So my big mission with my work in general, but also this book was to, help people achieve this over a long-term basis and be sustainable with it.
Yeah. Now you help people with losing weight as well, don't you? No, it's not just, your amazing book, but you do more than that. Would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I do work with people one-on-one who are wanting to lose weight and have more energy and all of these things. Mostly just because I feel like people struggle when it comes down to it with being consistent. So people are able to lose weight, here or there, but most of the time, they put it back on and sometimes plus more. So my biggest thing is helping people individually find that lifestyle and find that middle ground that is going to work for them personally so that they can achieve these results, not just for, a temporary period, but over the long term.
It's incredible. And I think it would be helping so many people. And because it is that big picture, it's not just, we're losing weight for summer or to wear a bikini or whatever it is. It's life. It's a
Exactly. I really
lifestyle.
want to help people see that over the rest of their life and not just for a temporary period.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, your book's available on Amazon, but if people want to get in touch with you, especially in terms of working with you or following you even, what's the best way to get in touch?
Yeah, so my website is rawkyle.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. I have accounts there, and pretty much throughout the week, I'm posting recipes almost daily, at least, several times a week. I'm updating on there. My email is kyle@rawkyle.com if anyone wants to reach out personally. And also earlier I was mentioning about, my recommendations when starting a healthier lifestyle was to drink one smoothie per day. I also offer a free 7-day smoothie challenge, which is called 7 Days of Smoothies. And if you go to 7daysofsmoothies.com, it's spelt out the word 7. You can download the ebook for free just by entering your email. So
Fantastic. So I'll pop the URL in the comments as well, make sure that people can find you really easily. But Kyle, I want to thank you so much, not only for coming and having a chat today, but for creating this amazing book and all the incredible work that you do. Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
My pleasure. I'll speak with you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.